Hello.
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 Welcome to this week's video, and we are at the Vanlife and Overland Festival at Newbury Showground.
We got to go on the stage and talk for an hour, a whole hour about Morocco. I don't know how we'll be able to manage it.
Yeah, I think our friends that we met with last weekend would disagree with you. 3 days we didn't shut up.
And how do you know that we're at a social media event? The van's clean. Oh, never looks like this, does it? You saw it all in our Morocco vids when we're living in it and there's stuff everywhere. Nice and tidy today.
And it won't look like that for long.
No. I reckon give it about half hour, I reckon.
After an early start, we left South Wales, battled the traffic, and managed to get to Newbury for about 10:30. We were directed to our pitch in the social media area, and then decided to have a wander around before heading to the stage for Carl's welcome talk.
Prop shop.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I've got a few of you here already. Are you enjoying it so far? No, it's only the first day. Is it an empty bar? Are you enjoying it so far?
Whee!
That's better. I'm not enjoying it because the bar's only just opening. Oops. Come on, get my thatches out. Right, okay. This is our second year here. A lot of you come last year. I want to say thank you to every single person that is on this site supporting us. Can we turn the music down a bit? What I want to say is also, I want to explain a little bit about this show. Our show was born from going to lots and lots of other shows, being volunteers and running Gorilla Grub, which is outside. And everybody kept saying to me, you should be running your own. And we thought about it for years. So myself, Zoe and Simon, which are backstage just there, and Karen, who out there with Gorilla Grub. She's outside the shutter there waving at everybody. If you turn around and have a look, that's Karen. This sort of came about from them, and we've got an extra body on now. The little girl with the pink hair running over there, just about to disappear, trying to hide. Helen has come on board the past couple of months, picked up a lot of stuff that I've missed out, and kicked my backside. That's all I'm going to say. And all this pretty glittery lights and everything is down to her. Look at the top she's wearing, the pink hair says it all. We're going to have a really, really, really good weekend. As it's called, Vanlife and Overlander celebration. The key word there is celebration. Smile, be happy. We've all got stresses. We've got, life's hard enough. We're here for one weekend per year. So, and I want you to take that home with you and live the rest of the 362 days of the year, that word, celebration.
The reason, I'm not a professional cook, I just love to cook. Cooking is my love language. If for my friends and family, this is how I show my affection. Yes, I've been accused of being a feeder. I do like to cook.
Oh, you are too good, Michelle. No!
That's the tortilla casserole, the one that I've made. That's the, yeah. This is the proper chicken one.
Oh, that's the guac you said about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
If you want all the food porn, follow Merrimack's Travel on YouTube and Facebook.
Right, don't burn your mouth.
And with Kath suitably fed, we decided to have a wander around the many stalls and to have a look at a bit of van porn.
Oh, I was looking at those cowboy hats on the Facebook group yesterday. Oh look, it's our dream bus. That is beautiful. Well, the sun's out at the Vanlife and Overlander celebration. We're just chilling this afternoon. Stu's come to ask the bloke if he can sit in his chair because he's got one of those zero gravity chairs and he wants to know if they're comfy or not. Oh, in it he is. Here he goes. Here, look. There he is, sitting in someone else's zero gravity chair. Does anyone else have a zero gravity chair? We're really hard on chairs and they're on like straps, aren't they? I feel like we'd snap them. Tell us about your chairs in the comments. We're after some new camping chairs. Ours are all held together with duct tape at the moment. No lie.
Time for a little bit more van porn. And there are some lovely, lovely vans here. Who doesn't like looking at other people's vans? With the sheer number of Varios and Overlanders, it's certainly given Kath and I something to talk about when deciding what our next van will be.
Evening.
Evening. It's been a quiet day, just having a walk around, checking out everybody's vans. There's some lovely Varios here, so somebody's been looking and planning the next van.
You've got to look, haven't you? Need a future plan.
Tonight we're off to the Neon Disco, so we've all got dressed up with glow sticks. Some more than others. Oh, turn the light off, see if you glow in the dark.
Yes!
At least one of us looks the part. Even the dog made more effort than me.
And that's it then. neon disco is over. Party back at the van. Good morning from the Vanlife and Overlander celebration. It's Saturday morning. It was a bit of a quiet one all in all last night, I felt. But yeah, we're up and about. Lots more people have arrived today. I just had a nice shower. It's very, very warm here. You can probably see my face melting. And we've just spent the morning getting ready for our talk. So we're going to be on the main stage at 3:30. If you're already at the celebration, then hopefully you came along to see us. But if not, and you do have any Moroccan questions, we have a whole playlist for that. So check out our Morocco playlist, which is basically why we're here. So yeah, the day has begun. I'm just having a quick tidy up because people come around and they like to have a look at the vans and things. And then I think we're going to go down and watch the Balkans talk by Mark Stanton. Really looking forward to that. The Balkans is definitely on our plans for the future. And then once we've done that, I think we've got about an hour before we're on the stage ourselves. So fingers crossed it all goes okay. I'm sure it will. Steve's just out there talking solar panels with somebody. There he is, talking to Adam about his solar panels that follows the sun around camp. So that's Adam Shea, and they do have a YouTube channel. I think it's Shay's on Tour, although he's a bit quiet in there at the moment, but he is intending to get back to it. So but yeah, really cool solar panel. It's got a little light sensor just on the top, and it just rotates towards the lightest part of the sky. It just spends all day swiveling back and forth. He's had absolutely loads of people over there talking to him about it, as I'm sure you can understand. Very, very clever and innovative, and really the reason we come to these things. Oh, that is so cute!
He's got to be one of the most interesting gentlemen I have ever met. I haven't had a sheltered life one. Right, okay, I'm going to pass you over to Mark. I'm going to stop speaking and let him tell you everything. Over to you, Mark, it's your stage.
I'm Mark, and I drift at the edge of the grid. A full-time van lifer, visiting then leaving. I'm retired, 68 trips around the sun. I own my own home and drive a Mercedes. They're the same thing. More truck than van. She's a 30-year-old Merc 7 of 9. D with a short horse box on the back. No tech, no turbo. I tell tales and write rhymes, watch wildlife as I'm searching for the missing pieces of my soul. I am nomad. My roots are my roots. I have no place to tie. I have no spot that's home. I have no there entwined. Does that give me nothing? Does that give me everything? I have no spot that's home. I have no direction to go. No journey that must be taken. No tie lets me know. For me, no special where. I am I everywhere? I am I nowhere? So just go where the weather suits my clothes, where freedom is nothing and nothing is free. My roots are my roots. Cities aren't for me. Cities are for control, where the state owns your very soul. To stay, your spirit is the toll. Leave, live by van is my plan. The grid should be great, but when governed wrong, will devastate. The grid good things can create, but when wrong makes hate. Stay at the edge. Try not to feed the mistake. The world has a litter problem. It doesn't take a nomad to see that. Litter is bitter, plastic is elastic. It will return with a twing and taste of sin to kill many a thing. It will bring an end to the birds, the bears, the bats and the bees. Then it all will bring generations to their knees. What will happen? Do you think your God will sort it? Or can I report it? Can I tell you my no? Your land will get sick, your animals will die. Your food will be full of the plastic you spill. When your children run grow, Mother Earth will know, because the poison you do sow. On with my wanders, just a drifting poet, a storyteller with some rhymes. Loving the voyage by Can, because A van is a can for a woman or a man to live with or without a plan. A can with a view, life's beauty to review. A view to regularly renew, and Mother Earth's majesty tune to.
Our van navigation, along with our dog Nala, but she's in the van because she's a little bit too excited to be in here today. We left the UK end of December with the plan to head to Morocco for 3 months. We did stop off 3 weeks in Spain to sort out the dog's passport, but we will get to that. So we've presented a little video to run alongside. It might not all match up with what we're saying, but we'll do our best.
So this is the place we stopped off, and the vet that we used, who I would highly recommend. They were really sympathetic, and they issued us with a pet passport with no problems at all. Trying to go to Africa without a pet passport can be quite difficult. The moment you cross from Spain into Northern Africa, your AHC is invalid. So you either have to go through a lot of vet checks at every border, or you get the pet passport, which makes it all really, really easy.
We found this beautiful reservoir which we could park up fairly close to. It was the perfect opportunity to get the drone out. I'm a big fan of my drone, and I learned a valuable lesson about power lines. As you can see, whoops! I then spent 10 minutes tethered to the van, climbing down the ravine to retrieve the drone, because there was no way I was going home without it.
But we persevered. We went to a nearby air, which I think was the favourite air we visited in the whole of Spain, in the shadow of the Arguedas cave houses. People lived in these houses right up until the late 1960s, and you can still visit them today. The free air is literally below the houses, and the town of Arguedas was absolutely beautiful. So after an overnight there, the sun did finally come out. We set our alarms for the next morning, not something I do very often when we're travelling, and we took ourselves off for sunrise at the Bardinas Reales, where the temperature was a giddy -5. But it was well worth it, and we stood as the sun rose over what is probably the most photographed feature in northern Spain. So it was well worth the trip inland, and we'd recommend that anybody do it.
My first impressions of Morocco, I thought it was all brown. It's not. This is, as soon as we came off the ferry, it is a beautiful green country, at least in the north part anyway. Once I'd got over how green it was, my next notice was the amount of police. They are everywhere. They do not police by consent like we do in the UK. If you go to Morocco, expect to be stopped on countless occasions, but they are very nice, and I'll cover that a little bit more later. But this was our main attraction. We wanted to see the Barbary macaques, and you'd think that they were everywhere in the forest, but they're not. They're only where people congregate. To find these, we had to go back to the road where we turned into the park, and then they were everywhere. Obviously, they're used to being fed by tourists. All the locals are there trying to sell you their out-of-date pastries to give to the monkeys. We're not a fan of animal tourism, so we refused the offer of food to give to them, and just made do with taking pictures. But as you can see, they're not frightened by humans, and they allow you to get up nice and close to take the pictures.
People have been using Morocco as a Schengen break. Now, we went to Morocco because we wanted to go to Morocco. But if you are using it as a Schengen break, it's worth remembering you are not in Europe anymore. You are in Africa. So I know a lot of people go there. We wanted to go with curious eyes rather than judgment. And where animals are concerned, Africans have a very different outlook to us. It is estimated that Morocco has 5 million street dogs, and I don't think anybody even bothered to count the cats. Morocco is not the land of barriers. I tripped at the top of here and I saw my life flash before me as I nearly fell into the gorge below. There are no safety barriers anywhere. While we were also in this area, we visited a couple of other places called Wazoud Falls, which is the tallest fall in North Africa at 120 metres. It was the most spectacular thing that we'd ever seen. boat out into the falls. They're only cheap, about £1.50 each, but I didn't think we'd be able to take the dog. So we asked him, how can we do it with the dog? And he said, just hire the whole boat. So do you know what, guys? If you go to Morocco, just hire the whole boat. Live like a king for £7. Why not? Are there any Game of Thrones fans in the house? Because lots of filming there was done in Ait Ben Haddou. It is incredibly busy. Like Volubilis, we wish we'd gone early in the morning. There is a lot of pressure sails here. It wasn't our favourite place. I can understand why people go there, but we saw quite a lot of these bazaars as we were coming back from the desert, and I actually wish we'd stopped at a little less touristy one.
It's quite saddening to see houses falling off the edges of cliffs, cars that have been completely destroyed by rockfall. I mean, you can see this town here, if you look up above it, the whole town is still living in tents above the village because none of those buildings are safe. And it's a very, very large area that's like that, which is why we decided to go and do a little bit. And we actually put out a separate video for the charity work that we did, including links in that. So go to our YouTube and look up that, and there are links on how you can donate and help these people. But a very, very sobering day driving through that. But by contrast, once you get through the earthquake zone, the roads are back to being tarmac, and for a driver, they were some of the best roads I've ever driven.
The coast of Morocco is lovely, but the true Morocco is inland. And even if you want to see the coast, I would go and do it now. If you've been thinking about Morocco, add it to your list, because great swathes of these little fishing towns are being demolished, and in their place, coincidentally, multi-million-pound resorts are being built in the places where Moroccans are being displaced from to create the space for these resorts. I suspect in 10 or 15 years, the coast of Morocco will look like Benidorm.
Not nice.
Our overriding feeling of Morocco and the people were that they were friendly, wonderful, honest, generous and kind.
2.5 months in, we thought we'd had the perfect trip, everything was going to plan. Of course, you can't have a 3.5, 4 month journey without things going wrong. The first of which I was particularly unhappy about, was the van decided to break down.
Oops.
Essentially in the middle of nowhere. We were on a little coast road, nowhere to go. Luckily, it was just a coolant hose, and being Vanlifers, we had toolboxes and bits and pieces in the garage, and I managed to put the hose back on. As soon as we started driving again, we met the police. They pulled us in. I didn't think I'd done anything wrong. We don't drive the van quickly because it's a big van, but he waved us in anyway. After about 10 minutes of to and froing what I'd done wrong, I came back 150 dirhams lighter, which is about £12, with a certificate telling me that I was doing 70 in a 60.
Well, talk done. I think that went okay. Picked up a few subscribers. A few people come to ask us some questions about the trip afterwards. There was a fair crowd there as well watching. So yeah, work done. It's about 6 o'clock now. Is it rum o'clock? Anyone? It's probably time for a drink now, isn't it? Yeah, a bit perkier here today. Everybody's out and about, lots of things going on. Really enjoyed the Balkans talk today, which was like a poetry kind of reading-y thing about travelling the Balkans, going in and out of war zones and stuff. So really enjoyed that. You probably saw some clips on that earlier in the trip. That's Mark Stanton. We'll put all the names up on the screen as well. And yeah, I just fed the dog, so it's probably time for a run. It is much later. There is one, and there is boy. Sunday morning at the Vanlife and Overlander Festival, and I might have a sore head. Thanks, Stewie, for the bacon sandwiches. Definitely what I needed this morning. Might have overdone it a bit last night. I'm blaming our friends and their bottle of moonshine. Bit of Victron porn for you all. That was quite the setup, wasn't it?
Good morning. After a quiet Sunday night, I think half the people had already left before the evening commenced. Yeah, not a lot to report really. We had a wander around, had a chat to a few people with vans.
Yeah, slush that is. Oh, look at all the Dora dolls.
We've had a great time. Carl and his crew did a great job organising it. We're very grateful for the opportunity to give a talk on stage, and we hope we've educated some people about the good and the bad of Morocco. Anyway, this is all that's left. Time to pack up, move on, and wait for our next adventure. See you soon.